Welcome into some Father's Day baseball here in Covington, Virginia for your Covington Lumberjacks. It's your Lumberjacks facing the Strasburg Express. 4 o'clock start. We'll have lineups and short pitch shortly. Welcome in to all those joining us here in Covington, Virginia. Again, some Father's Day baseball. Your Covington Lumberjacks take on the Strasburg Express. The Express enter this ball game at a 8-9 record. Covington at 4-12, but it's looking up for the Lumberjacks. They're 2-0 in their last 2 home games. A devastating defeat last night against the Harrisonburg Turks. We'll take a look at the lineup for the Strasburg Express. Leading off with 5 home runs on the season, it's Eddie Castillo. Batting second at first base, it's Tommy Kirwan. Batting third, he's a 6'6" left fielder. It's Caden Haywood. Batting fourth, DHing tonight for the Express. Leading the league in batting average, it's Sam Brown. Batting fifth, third baseman from Auburn, Tanner Waldrop. Batting sixth from Baldwin, Mississippi, the shortstop, Baylor Roberts. Batting seventh, another Auburn College baseball player, the center fielder, Wade Shelley. Batting eighth, not from Virginia, but playing his college ball at UVA, it's William Broderick. And batting ninth, rounding out the lineup for the Express, it's J.W. Kohlmeyer. The Express lineup will take on Andy Hernandez. Hernandez, a Florida Southwestern State College guy. You see plenty of those in the VBL. Hernandez on the season has thrown 7 innings, sporting a 2.57 ERA. He gets a very hard-hitting Express team here, although, and this is something we'll talk about, I'm sure, a couple of times tonight, Strasburg, at an 8-9 record, is 7-2 at home this season, which means the flip side of that, they're 1-7 on the road. So an opportunity for the Jacks to stay hot here at Casey Field. Eddie Castillo from the University of New Orleans will lead off in the purple camo uniforms for the Express, the Lumberjacks in their all-white unis. And we're about underway here for some Father's Day baseball. Hernandez, smaller stature for a pitcher. Looking to go here from the windup. His first pitch is floated into right field. That'll get down for Castillo. We talked about his 5 home runs. A bloop single. And we're underway at 4:01. Hernandez stands at 5'8", but he has some tree trunks for legs. Teammates told me that he topped out one time in a bullpen at 97 miles per hour. He gets Tommy Kirwan here as Castillo leads off of first base. Hernandez's second pitch of the ball game is a slider that misses low. That's Caleb Mealy behind the dish. Mealy has caught one runner stealing. He's allowed 11 stolen bases behind the dish, although if you were to ask many of the catchers, a lot of that goes on the pitchers, especially in summer baseball action. 2-0 now to Kirwan. Kirwan plays his college ball at Wofford. He's from Oswego, New York. Traveling up and down the East Coast. Hernandez's 2-0 pitch to the first baseman. Kirwan is in the dirt, blocked well by Mealy. Throw it on a second is not in time. It's going to be a wild pitch that allows Castillo to take second base. Great read in the ball in dirt from Castillo, although in a now 3-0 count, you wonder if it will really matter if after a first pitch single, Hernandez is having trouble finding the strike zone against Tommy Kirwan. The 3-0 delivery gets the edge for strike one. And he has a lot of different pitches, although he favors the cutter and the variation of a fastball. Don't see that often thrown against lefties, as that one's in the dirt for Hernandez. So 2 batters, 2 base runners for the Express. Got to bring up Caden Haywood. He's a 6'6" left fielder. You know, sometimes you see that sort of height and you think pitcher, catcher, first base. And, you know, there's guys like Aaron Judge, James Wood, but those are the big league ball players. Height like this in the outfield, it's kind of unheard of at the college level. Hernandez looking to get his first out of the ball game. Takes a look at second, and his pitch away to Haywood, 1-0. Not a lot of room for error from the starter Hernandez. A few arms used last night in the loss to Harrisonburg, and of course this game coming in a stretch of 6. Spin move to second base, and it's going to get into the outfield. Hernandez threw it to the bag, and nobody was really there. That'll be Hernandez's second error of the season, allowing Castillo and Kirwan to move up a bag. Brian Zaya's got a glove to it, but it kicked off his glove into center field, and now an even better opportunity for Caden Haywood, hitting with runners at second and third, nobody out. Hernandez looking to find the strike zone. His 1-0 pitch is a slider in there. And he started off the season great with a 2-inning, 5-strikeout performance against Charlottesville. Last time out, he got hit pretty hard against Stanton and was 1 inning, 2 hits, and 3 runs. Haywood pops this one up on the infield. Levesque in foul territory will make the grab for an important out number 1. Doesn't get any easier after Haywood, though. Here is the league-leading batting average man and Sam Brown. It's funny, you get in a league like this and you see some of the colleges that these players play for, some teams that make regional, some teams that make the College World Series. And you look at them and you think, okay, these are the guys that are going to rake. Sam Brown plays his college ball at Gulf Coast State. Here in the VBL, he's hitting .447. Hernandez's first pitch to him is a sinker that catches the low and away edge. A strike one, first pitch strike for Hernandez. Not only is Sam Brown hitting the ball well, he's taking his walks as well. He's walked 19 times. He's only struck out 9. 1 to Brown is a slider that misses low. With an open base at first and 1 out, you think about pitching around the talented Brown. After Sam, it's Tanner Waldrop. Waldrop hitting 200 points worse than Sam. Hernandez not worrying about that, though. His 1-1, away. Good job by Mealy behind the dish, keeping that one from squirting away. 2-1 now to Brown. Sam sporting an OPS well above 1,200. 644 on base percentage. 2-1 from Hernandez, catches the away part of the zone, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. to the current best hitter in the Valley Baseball League. Hernandez has the strikeout stuff. In 7 innings, he's striking out 7 batters. Looks for one here. The 2-2 to Brown. Taken low. As a team, Strasburg is not very patient. In fact, they're 10th in the league in strikeouts at 158 on the season. Large part of that due to the fact that they've played 17 games, where some teams have only played around 15. Brown's going to ground this one up the middle. Zayas makes a backhand grab. The throw to first is grabbed by Levesque. Picked that one pretty well, but it's an RBI for Sam Brown. Eddie Castillo comes around to score. Tommy Kirwan moves to third base on the 4-3 ground out. If Hernandez can get Waldrop here, you could say that the damage was limited, but you don't like to see a team like Strasburg, who struggled on the road, take an early lead. Another lefty-righty matchup for the Express here. They've loaded the lineup with lefties. First pitch is fouled to the backstop. No balls, 1 strike. Not only does Waldrop play his college ball at the University of Auburn, but in addition to that, he's actually from Auburn, Alabama. He faces a Florida native in Andy Hernandez, who goes way inside, brushing Waldrop off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hernandez from Hialeah, Florida. Before Florida Southwestern State, he played at Pasco Hernandez, which is a D2 JUCO, very good, as that one's blocked by Mealy. 2 balls, 1 strike. If you're just now joining us, Strasburg has already struck first. It's 1-0 here in the top of the first inning. Tanner Waldrop batting with Tommy Kirwan at third, trying to extend their lead. Hernandez readies for a 2-1 delivery. The pitch, fouled back again. Just like that. A 2-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs. Hernandez going to look to pound the strike zone and put the pressure on Waldrop, who hits with a runner in scoring position. From the set, Hernandez's pitch is lined into left center field. That'll be an RBI single for Tanner Waldrop. Darius Brown picks it up on the fly, is throwing to second. Prevents Waldrop from taking another bag. But with the runner at third and 2 outs, Tanner Waldrop does the job. We've seen a couple of innings like this season for the Lumberjacks, who before Hunter DePriest's start, which was the last home game for this Lumberjack squad, where he went 7 innings of scoreless baseball against Waynesboro, as Hernandez leaves a slider over the middle part of the plate. It's going to hang up. No, it will not. That's over the fence, and just like that, it's 4-0 Strasburg. It looked like Darius Brown had a read on it, but as he got to the fence, it just kept on hooking and found its way past the fence. It's now 4-0 Strasburg. Baylor Roberts with the home run. Well, what I was going to say was, before that start against Waynesboro and the game against Culpeper, this was a Lumberjacks team that came in to this home stretch at Casey Field with a league worst ERA. It's sunken down to 6.64. That's 9th worst in the league, but all of a sudden that's going to skyrocket as it's now 4 runs, 3 of which have come with 2 outs for the Express. Now batting's Wade Shelley, trying to keep this inning alive. And he's going to get a slider inside from Hernandez. Action already in the bullpen for the Lumberjacks, but it's a bullpen that has been taxed over the last couple of games. Hernandez's 1-0 pitch. Slider for a strike. Hernandez looked like a very hopeful arm out of the bullpen when he made his debut. 2 innings, 5 strikeouts. Nobody even got on base, but since then it's been a steady decline as this one's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strasburg has an opportunity to chase him out of this ball game very early on. His pitch count is still relatively low as the Express have been swinging. Only one walk on the inning, but a 2-run homer and an RBI grounded and an RBI single, and it's 4-0 Strasburg. Hernandez is 1-2. Fouled back again. Finally, an off day tomorrow for the Express. After that, they get Charlottesville at home. That's a makeup game from a couple of weeks ago. Wade Shelley in a 1-2 count, trying to extend the inning for the Express. Pitch from Hernandez is taken low. Hernandez currently symptomatic of a bloop and a blast. A couple of soft hit singles, a ground out that resulted in an RBI, and then a blast from Baylor Roberts. His 1-2 is in the back of Wade Shelley, a hit by pitch, and the inning continues for the Express. It's funny, talking to some players in this league, they wish there was more games. I talked to a player, and he mentioned that having the rain delay game or postponement was something that he enjoyed because it felt like there wasn't much to do on Mondays and Tuesdays, but I feel like it's a different story for the pitchers and for the coaching staff. You have that added game, and all of a sudden you can't throw as many guys. Hernandez is 0-0 to William Broderick, is fouled towards the Covington dugout. First pitch strike from Hernandez. Makes matters worse for pitchers when a lot of guys come into the season here not being able to go as long as you'd want them to. A lot of guys have inning limits, pitch limits, as Hernandez is 0-1 misses away. So you really have to be methodical with how you throw guys, and you kind of lose the ability to do that when you're playing every single day. Hernandez is 1-1 to Broderick as the runner takes off at first. Mealy's up quickly. The throw down is not in time. Crespo had to field that on the right side of his body and make a swipe effort over. That's Wade Shelley's 4th stolen base of the season. The pitch was a ball. Broderick batting with an advantage here. 2-1 pitch from Hernandez is lined into right field. Plenty of get up on that one as it lands in the Covington bullpen. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. We were hoping today that Covington could silence a very strong hitting Strasburg team and then jump out like they had been at home. Coming to this game, they're 2-0 at their last 2 home games, but different story today. The 2-2 is up the middle. Zayas backhand grab, throw to first is picked by Levesque. Zayas' second assist of the inning will end it, but not after Strasburg puts up 4 runs. A 2-run shot from Baylor Roberts. The big swing. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Covington chasing a 4-run lead. there was any positive outlook to look at that first inning, if there was a team that you'd want to give up 4 runs to and have to chase them, it would be this Strasburg team. They enter the game with a league worst 7.03 ERA. That's 12th in the league. Again, dead last. Unfortunately for this Covington squad, they're dead last in most hitting metrics. So they got to get the bats going. We'll take a look at the lineup today for your Lumberjacks. Leading off in center field, it's George Pardo. Batting second behind the dish, it's Caleb Mealy. Batting third, he had 3 doubles in yesterday's game against Harrisonburg. It's across Yarborough. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Darius Brown. Batting fifth, from Francis Marion University, it's Zach Dorlag. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Emery Stevens. Batting seventh, a catcher who's now playing a lot of first base, it's Jake Levesque. Batting eighth, a shortstop from Philadelphia, it's Peter Crespo. And rounding out the lineup, it's Brian Saez. On the mound today, it's Tomoyaki Jitsukawa. Jitsukawa's first pitch to Pardo is in for strike 1. Pardo going to roll over to the third baseman, Waldrop, who can't grab it. That's going to be a hit for Pardo, as Waldrop never got his glove to the ball. Good start today for the Lumberjacks is Pardo, who was 2 for 3 in yesterday's ball game with 2 walks, reaches again. If there is one thing that you can look at for this Lumberjacks team, it's stolen bases. They lead the league with 69. And you wonder if Pardo's thinking about making it 70. He has 4 on the season. William Broderick behind the plate has surrendered 14 bags. He's only caught 1 guy. Jitsukawa readies now to Caleb Mealy. Takes a look over at first to Pardo. The one unfortunate thing about leading the league in stolen bases is, of course, the other team could see that as well, so they're going to be a lot more attentive to the Lumberjacks' base running efforts. Jitsukawa's 0-0 to Mealy. It's a slider that misses away. Mealy didn't play in yesterday's ball game, but he's been one of the better hitters in a recent stretch for the Lumberjacks. He's 5 for 17 on the season. He's got 5 RBIs. Jitsukawa's 1-0 to Mealy. Misses up again. On the season, Jitsukawa has a 5.11 ERA with a 1.54 whip. He's made 4 appearances, 2 of them starts. He has a somewhat easy task of entering a ball game with a 4-run lead, but see if the Lumberjacks can get going as Mealy swings 2-0, lifts one to right field. Castillo comes in and makes the play. But pretty blunt about that one. Not necessarily the pitch you want to see Mealy swinging at. 2-0 with the runner already at first. You want to really extend this inning, even if you're only the second batter in it. That's what we saw from Kirwan in the first inning after Eddie Castillo singled. He took a walk. Pardo singles, but behind him, Mealy flies out. Now cross Yarbrough to the plate, and you'd love to have him hitting with 2 runners on. Here he's only hitting with Pardo. Takes the first pitch off speed for a strike. Cross yesterday was all over the base paths, but unfortunately only came in to score 1 time. He was 3 for 4 with 3 doubles. Also added a walk to his tally. Jitsukawa's 0-1. As Pardo takes off, Yarborough grounds it to the shortstop Roberts. He makes a backhand grab. His throw to first is going to get away from the first baseman, Kirwan. Pardo's going to try to come around to score, and he will easily. It's going to be a hit and then an error most likely on Roberts. Cross Yarborough continues to swing it, and Pardo goes first to home on the error. So an E6 on Roberts that will, for the time being, make that run unearned, but if you're the Lumberjacks, you want to make every run in this inning earned on Jitsukawa. To do that, you got to keep scoring. Pardo was off and running on the pitch and actually pulled Roberts in slightly as the first pitch to Brown is in for strike 1. Yarborough's got some sneaky, I'd call it speed over there at first base, but he hasn't stolen a base with his speed so far this season. It's been his smarts. He's gotten great jumps, and because of that, he has 5 stolen bases. Jitsukawa's 0-1 to Brown, as you can see. Yarborough trying to time up Brown as Darius Brown lifts this one into deep left center field. Looking up is the left fielder Haywood. It'll bounce off the wall. Yarborough's getting waved around. The throw-in from Haywood's going to skip around the infield. It's an RBI double for Darius Brown, and just like that, it's 4-2. thought for a second Darius had it as Haywood was looking up and didn't really seem to see the ball. But, of course, here at Casey Field, those gaps are the deepest part of the ballpark, so that one must have sat down right at the deepest part. Darius Brown adds another run. It's Strasburg 4, Covington 2, and now Zach Dorlag batting with the runner in scoring position. Dorlag on the season's 1 for 14, but in BP, he's shown plenty of pop. Chitukawa's 0 to Dorlag, misses inside. Coming into this inning, I talked about how if you wanted to surrender 4 runs to any team, it'd be the Strasburg squad as they lead the league in ERA, or not lead the league, they're a league worst in ERA, and Covington's showing that. 0 to Dorlag, 1 to Dorlag, taken inside. It's 2-0. Brown, great speed at second base. He's stolen 6 bags on the season. He wouldn't be scared to swipe third here, and it's an interesting situation to do so with 1 out. 2-0 pitch to Dorlag. Thought he had an off speed to really get out there. Fouls it off the right side. 2 balls, 1 strike. Strasburg defense, who now has 26 errors on the season. Pretty simple go for the Lumberjacks offense right now. Put the ball in play, and they're not just doing that, they're putting some barrels on the ball as well. Chitukawa's 2-1 to Dorlag is an off speed that misses inside. It's 3-1. The lineup for the Lumberjacks only features 4 bats who hit in yesterday's ball game. Some rested position players. The 3-1 to Dorlag is hit to center field. That's going to be a line out to Shelley. Brown thought about tagging as the throw comes into the shortstop Roberts. A line out for Dorlag, and now 2 outs in the inning. Promising signs for a Lumberjacks team who, on the season, I'll say it, have been pretty abysmal in the batter's box. A different day-to-day so far in the bottom of the first inning. Although, it's going to be more about what they do after the first. If the first 3, they haven't been as bad. It's after that where the bats have really died off. Emery Stevens now batting. He takes a first pitch fastball upstairs. Stevens from Albany State. 2 for 18 on the season. Chitukawa with Darius Brown at second base. He's already surrendered 2 earned runs here in the inning. His 1-0. It's an off speed that catches the outer edge. 1-1. Not much velocity from Chitukawa, although he looks pretty similar to Hernandez. Fastball at around 85, and then an off speed sitting at around 70 to 74. Stevens in the batter's box, ready for the 1-1 pitch. He swings and misses. Curveball. It started inside, finished on the outer edge. Stevens over top. Faces the 1-2 count here. Lumberjacks looking to do what the Express did in the first half, which was put runs up with 2 outs. Brown, a big lead off of second base. Chitukawa takes a look. Stevens takes a look at a fastball up and in. If there was anything to be frustrated about, it'd be the fact that Strasburg not only scored 4 runs, but they scored 3 with 2 outs. It would be less disappointing if Covington could do the same. The 2-2 to Stevens grounds this one through the right side. Kirwan's there. Chitukawa covers, and it's a good job from the first baseman to field his position. Covington get 2 back. It's Strasburg 4, Covington 2. We head to the top of the second inning. 27 minutes into this ball game, and we're now just entering the top of the second inning. Strasburg 4, Covington 2. Andy Hernandez back on the mound. He gets 9-1-2. It's J.W. Kohlmeyer to lead off. Kohlmeyer from VMI. It's about a half an hour from here. Would pitch to Kohlmeyer is lifted into center field. A couple steps to his left is Pardo. He's under it for out number 1. It's exactly what you want to see if you're Hernandez and if you're Coach Rennie Tolentino, who has a task of making sure he has enough pitchers to finish this ball game, and that all starts with how long your starter can go. An important one pitch went out. Now Eddie Castillo. Castillo blooped one into right for a leadoff single to start this ball game. Takes the first pitch off speed up and in. If you're Hernandez, you really got to look to get away with that off speed, especially against a guy like Castillo, who has the aforementioned 5 home runs. Takes a get me over off speed. It's 1-1. Strasburg, second in the league in 14 home runs. That one's taken low and in. 2-1 now. Although they might be league leading with 15 overall, as Baylor Roberts has a homer in today's ball game. Hernandez is 2-1s up and into Castillo. 3-1 now. I think the question would be for this Strasburg team is how many home runs have they hit on the road? 1-7 on the road, 7-2 at home. As Hernandez's 3-1 is away, a walk for Castillo. He's reached base in the first 2 innings. But they also play at a stadium at Strasburg where the ball just simply flies. It's a boombox there. A little bit different here at Casey Field. You don't necessarily have to put a huge jolt into one, but depending on where you hit the ball, you'll have a decent chance if you can get some air under it. Castillo now leading off of first. Kirwan, similar situation to where he batted in the first inning, fouls one back. First time up, Kirwan walked, came around to score. And the Tanner Waldrop single. Hernandez takes off, or excuse me, not Hernandez. Castillo takes off. This one's going to get out of play. And I messed up saying how Kirwan came around to score. Castillo singled. Kirwan walked. Runners advanced on a error by Hernandez, which made it second and third, and then Sam Brown scored the first run of this ballgame with a ground out to Brian Zayas. Hernandez with leverage here. It's 0-2 to Kirwan. And the pitch, missing low and away. Difference in this AB, Kirwan looked at 4 straight balls first time up. Hernandez takes a look over at first. It wasn't 4 straight balls. It was 5 pitches, 4 of them being balls. Hernandez did get the get-me-over fastball in a 3-0 count. Different situation here with Castillo at first, as with 1 out, he has an opportunity for a strikeout pitch. 1-2 to Kirwan as Castillo takes off. Mealy up and throwing. He's going to throw that one straight into the mound. Never really got a good grip on it. And it's a stolen base for Castillo. Only his 4th on the season, as the Express don't necessarily steal at a high clip. Stolen base earlier by Shelley. That's their 37th as a team. Kirwan now swinging missing at a 2-2 pitch by Hernandez. A big strikeout, the first of the game for Andy. Going to bring up Caden Haywood, who was the first out of the ball game. The runners at second and third. He popped one out foul, first base side. Hernandez looking to replicate that. The 0-0 misses low and in. Hernandez enters this at bat at 42 pitches, now 43 after that 1-0. You want to get quick outs where you can. 1-0 is a slider for a strike. Doesn't seem to be any movement in the Covington bullpen after a so far clean inning for Hernandez, but we got to watch out. This is a Strasburg team who with 2 outs in the first inning struck for 3. 1-1 to Haywood, another strike there. And all of a sudden, Andy Hernandez has an opportunity for back-to-back strikeouts. Castillo walked after a leadoff flyout by Kohlmeyer. Tommy Kirwan just struck out, and Hernandez is looking to make it 2 in a row. Andy looking Castillo back at second base. The 1-2 pitch inside. Haywood's got an extra large strike zone at that 6'6" stature. Wonder if Hernandez can get something across low that Haywood has trouble reaching. 2-2 pitch is not low at all. It's lined into left field. Doesn't have enough to get over the fence. Darius Brown's going to play it off the fence. His throw is going to come into second base where Casey Haywood will be standing up with an RBI double. Caden Haywood, excuse me. Caden Haywood, an RBI double, and it's 5-2 Strasburg. Problem right now for Hernandez is an unusual one for Lumberjacks pitchers. It's not throwing too many balls. It's not throwing too many pitches middle. It's leaving off speed up. And you can't leave an off speed up to a guy that's 6'6". You'd imagine somebody as tall as Haywood's going to have a big swing at the top of the zone. Now Sam Brown lines one past the shortstop Crespo. It'll be another RBI for the Express as Brown will park at first base. 6-2 Express. Top of the first saw 3 runs with 2 outs. Top of the second sees 2 with 2 outs, and runner's still on base. Sam Brown saw his .447 batting average drop after his first AB. It's going to be hovering around there after a 2-out single. Tanner Waldrop on the batter's box. Waldrop singled and then ended up scoring on Baylor Roberts' 2-run homer. 2 big runs for the Express, erasing the 2 runs that Covington had scored in the bottom of the second inning. Hernandez gets the up and an edge. It's no balls, 1 strike. Looks like Enzo Gurgle out there warming in the bullpen for the Lumberjacks. He's going to have a heavy task depending on when he comes in this ball game, because it's not going to be the usual 1 inning for a reliever if he doesn't enter early. Hernandez's 0-1 is lifted into left field. Brown giving chase to his right, looking up at the wall. It's gone. 8-2 Express. Seen a couple of swings on the day that have looked like they've really been hammered. That one from Waldrop, honestly, looked like a routine fly ball into left field off the end of the bat. An impressive swing, and it's now 8-2 Express. Baylor Roberts, he had a home run in the first inning. Looking to keep the momentum going for Strasburg. Pitch from Hernandez. Line that way, left field. This time not enough elevation, and luckily for Covington, it's foul. Player out there for Strasburg getting the home run ball, nearly got his second. Instead, it's an 0-1 count to Roberts. And again, mentioned it earlier, the problem that Hernandez is having is all these off speeds are either middle or middle in, and it works if you don't recognize it. But those 8 runs, you could tell that the Express bats have recognized it. Hernandez is 0-1 to Roberts. Looked like a changeup away. 1-1. Roberts takes an off-speed inside. 1-2 the count now, and the difference on that off-speed, it was low. Hernandez is going to look to live there. Looking for a second strikeout of the inning. He will not get it. Lined in left field, and it gets down in front of Darius Brown. And it continues for the Express. And that'll do it for Andy Hernandez. Coach Tolentino going to take a walk to the mound. I don't think Andy Hernandez, well, he might know it now as he sees everybody surrounding him. But Andy Hernandez's day is done. This book is not closed yet, as there's a runner at first and Baylor Roberts that accounts for him, but it'll be Enzo Gurgel entering the game. If he can get the out here, it'll be 8 runs surrendered by Mr. Hernandez. Take a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about Enzo Gurgel. Enzo Gurgel enters the bullpen. He has the tall task of keeping this Strasburg lineup silent. Fortunately for Enzo, he does have 2 outs. He only needs to get 1 here. On the season, Enzo's made 6 appearances. He's pitched in 4 2/3 innings. He has a 19.29 ERA. Surrendered 10 hits. 10 runs, all of them earned. He's walked 6 batters and struck out 5, and it's a situation where obviously I don't think Enzo woke up today thinking that he'd be coming in the second inning of a ball game, but he does have the ability to simply make 1 pitch, although right now off the mound he's not throwing very many strikes. Look at Wade Shelley. Shelley, his first time up, got hit. Strasburg definitely struck in the first inning, but after Covington scored 2 and really looked like they were going well against Jitsukawa, it seemed that we'd have a potentially just high-scoring ball game from both teams, but Strasburg has immediately responded, erasing the 2 runs and adding 2 more, and now, before the inning even begins, it seems that Caleb Mealy's down in some pain. That was the last warm-up pitch for Enzo Gurgel, and inning's going to be delayed. Mealy is down in some pain, and maybe some of those who saw it can understand why, but without giving too much detail, he got hit in a spot where you don't want to get hit. Jake Ambrosio, who's the bullpen catcher for today's ball game, is making his way towards his field, and with the game already being 8-2 and Mealy cutting a lot of pitches through 2 innings, you wonder if it's even worth it to keep him in the ball game. I mean, they're going to make the change, so Caleb Mealy's day is done after 1 2/3 innings. So for 1 in the game with a flyout. An unfortunate situation where it doesn't seem that Mealy's going to be able to continue. Maybe he will. They're giving him water. I thought they were making a motion to make a substitution as Jake Ambrosio is in the dugout now, coming from the bullpen, and yep, that'll do it for Mealy. So before Enzo Gurgel even throws a pitch, Strasburg has another win in this ball game. Ambrosio was catching Enzo in the bullpen. Now he's going to be catching him in the game. Straight switch. Mealy gives to Ambrosio, and Just a strange game so far today. Not strange for the Express. They've done it all themselves with 8 runs through 1 2/3 innings so far. But you just hope that the Lumberjacks kind of have it in the back of their head that if you can get one guy out of the bullpen rolling, then you can stay in this game, because it didn't seem that Chitsukawa had shown that he was going to be uber effective, surrendering 2 in the bottom of the first inning. It'll be Wade Shelley batting here, looking to keep the inning alive for Strasburg, who has been deadly with 2 outs today. This inning, coming into this AB, they're 4 for 4 with 2 outs. And so Zoe to Shelley is lined into left field and foul. Caught by an arm out there in the Strasburg bullpen. But not a promising sign, as that first pitch from Enzo was tattooed. Shelley in the 7th spot for this Strasburg lineup is .282 on the season in the batting average department. Enzo's a 1 to him is way away. It was a tough night for the Lumberjacks. Didn't get in until around 12:30 last night, and that was after a walk-off home run from Brody Dalton of the Harrisonburg Turks. Enzo's 1-1 pitch as the runner at first takes off. It's grounded to the third baseman, Stevens, playing way back. His throw to first is off the bag. It looked like Levesque was going to be able to tag Shelley, but the ball comes out of his glove. That'll be an E5 on Stevens as Baylor Roberts goes all the way first to home. The inning continues on a defensive error. Stevens had played his first few games for the Lumberjacks at the shortstop position, and it seemed there that he was positioned way back on the third base bag. That throw coming nearly on the grass on a routine ground ball pushed Levesque up the line, and he wasn't able to hold on. First pitch swinging is William Broderick. He was the last out in the top of the first inning. He grounded out to Brian Zayas. A 1 to Broderick. Rogel's 0-1 is low and away. It was a Covington team who suffered a very emotional loss last night. This game feels completely different as there's not much energy in it. I'd say even really Strasburg doesn't seem to have much energy. They're just playing baseball right now. 1-1 pitch from Enzo is fouled back our way. It's 1-2. You know, sometimes they're going to have games like this, but I just think it's the timing of it. You go into yesterday's game with 2 wins under your belt in a row, both at home. Looking to keep that going with some momentum on the road, and for most of the game, it looked like Covington was going to be able to do that as Gergel's 1-2 was fouled off first base side. You have a heartbreaking loss, and you hope that you can just erase that in your head with a good played game today. Well, barring any miracle, I understand that obviously it's only the top of the second, but it seems that Strasburg's in total control. 1-2 pitch from Gergel is an off-speed that gets in the zone for strike 3 against Broderick. The inning's finally over, but not after a 5-run inning. Strasburg 9, Covington 2. Jake Levesque leads off the bottom of the second inning. Jeez, all over the place here in this ball game. Strasburg's done some damage. It's 9-2. Levesque, otherwise known as Big Red by many of his teammates, takes the first pitch off speed away. 0-1. Tsukawa's 0-1 is fouled off right side quickly. 0-2. The Lumberjacks responded with 2 after 4 first-inning runs from Strasburg, but now trailing 9-2. You wonder if it'll be as easy to do that. Tsukawa's 0-2, misses up. Levesque from around the Tampa area. One of the many Florida natives on this ball club. Tsukawa's 1-2 is grounded to the shortstop Roberts, makes a backhand grab. His throw to first is in time. Bring up Peter Crespo. Crespo 1 for 11 on the season. Started off in ideal fashion against Culpeper with a hit in his first game. Since then, he's searching for another. Crespo, a lefty from Rider University, a Philadelphia native. Tsukawa's 0-0. Catches the inner third. 0-1. Tsukawa's 0-1 pitch. Misses away. 1 ball, 1 strike. One here from Tsukawa, misses up and away. You know, there's plenty of ball game to work if you're the Lumberjacks. This game's going to go 7 innings no matter what, as that's the run rule, so got to find some way to fight. On the season, Lumberjacks have only been run ruled 1 time. It was a 15-2 loss at home against Harrisonburg. 2-1 pitch from Tsukawa. Inside, 3-1. Strasburg enters this game losing 2 straight, including a 19-10 loss last night. Crespo batting leverage here, the 3-1 from Tsukawa. Taken inside, a 5-pitch walk to Crespo, and another base runner for the Lumberjacks. Now to bring up Brian Zayas. Zayas has been red hot. 10 for 35 overall in the season with a 286 batting average, but he's been finding ways to get on base. The big thing is to stay on base. Zayas has been thrown out on the base pass 1 too many times. Last night he had a stolen base, but he was also caught stealing. And so it'll 2 for 4 with an RBI and a walk. Swings and misses on the first pitch slider from Tsukawa. Zayas had the highest leverage at bat of last night's ball game. Lumberjacks trailing by 1 run and the bases loaded in the top of the 9th inning. He worked a hit by pitch actually, to tie the ball game up. 1 pitch to Zayas, a swing and a miss. And it's 0-2. Anytime Zayas makes contact, it's going to be a difficult play. Avoiding strikeouts is key for the righty. Tsukawa's 0-2, swing and a miss. 3 straight swing and misses from Zayas, and it's 2 outs. Tsukawa's first strikeout of the game. George Pardo, who started off the Lumberjacks hitting wise with a single, came around to score on Cross Yarbrough's single. Check on Crespo at first. He's back in plenty of time. Tsukawa's first pitch to Pardo misses away. It's a rare situation where as a team, you see your leadoff guy hitting for the second time in 2 innings, and you're thinking things must be going pretty well if you were just to look at that. Fortunately, Lumberjacks trailing by 7 runs here as Pardo takes an off-speed up. At the moment, no action in the Express bullpen, but if you're Covington, you got to play with goals right now, and one of them to chase Jitsukawa out of the ball game as Pardo's going to foul one back. Crespo is off and running on the pitch. He'll have to come back to first base. Jitsukawa's going to take a look at Pardo, and they're going to get him. Really no reason at all to think about running right there, and Crespo's picked off at first base. Got a lean, and Jitsukawa timed it perfectly. That'll do it for the bottom of the second inning. It's Strasburg 9, Covington 2. Gurgel going to try to keep it where it's at. As we head to the top of the third, it's Strasburg 9, Covington 2, and leading off in the top of the third inning is J.W. Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer's first AB saw him fly out to center field to start the top of the second inning. Oh, from Gurgel is taken low. Gurgel, pretty simple task. You don't want to put anybody on for free, as he does that right there, hitting Kohlmeyer. You mentioned that as a pitching staff, Covington had greatly improved in the last 3 games from where they were, and we're dead last. And they're facing a team that is now dead last in Strasburg, but I think these two might switch spots after this ball game, as Eddie Castillo, now back in the batter's box, takes a first pitch strike. Andy Hernandez, whose line is now officially closed, went 1 2/3 of 7 hit, 9 run, 8 of them earned baseball. Gurgel's 0-1 to Castillo, taken inside for a ball. You want to talk about a team seeing a pitcher pretty well. Strasburg, really after the first few batters of the game, were just crushing everything they swung at. So this one's blocked in the dirt by Ambrosio. 2-1 the count. Castillo has reached his first 2 times up, a single and a walk. Gurgel's 2-1 is off the knee of Castillo. 2 hit by pitches here in the top of the 3rd inning by Gurgel. Two on now for Tommy Kirwan, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He's looking to become one of the numerous bats in this lineup who's gotten a hit. Gurgel's first pitch to Kirwan is in for a strike, 0-1. Runners at second and third, both hit by pitches. Kirwan's going to chop this one high off the plate. Gurgel is going to run and try to get it. Flip to first is in time. And caught around third base is Kohlmeyer. And that is just incredible base running by the Express. To set the scene, here's what just happened. Kirwan chops one. Played by Gurgel, excuse me. Levesque gets the out at first base. Coming around third was Kohlmeyer. Took a too wide of a turn. So Eddie Castillo runs all the way to third base to at least guarantee they have a runner at third. Well, Kohlmeyer gets to third and Castillo just takes off for second, and everybody's safe. So that'll just go down as a ground out as first pitch to Haywood's taken low. It's one that you couldn't really explain if you tried, but ultimately it's 1 out and runners at second and third for Caden Haywood, who doubled in his last AB. He's going to rope one to center field, giving chase as Pardo makes the catch deep in center. His throw is going to go to the third base bag. It's offline. A sac fly for Haywood. That sees Eddie Castillo advance to third. Strasburg with their 10th run of the ball game. Sam Brown now steps in the batter's box. And if there was anyone playing for anything at this point in the game for Strasburg, with how large their lead is, it's Sam Brown, as he just wants to continue increasing his increasingly high batting average. Takes the first pitch, fastball inside, 1-0. Brown's 1 for 2 with a single. Last time up, he came around to score. This one's going to be grounded to Levesque. Fields it well. Levesque's going to beat Sam Brown to the bag, and that'll do it for the top of the 3rd inning. Strasburg adds another. It's Express 10, Jacks 2. George Pardo leads off here, gets Jitsukawa. Pardo singled his first time up. This time he's going to get under one to center field. Out there is Wade Shelley, who makes a ranging catch. One out here on one pitch in the bottom of the third. Pardo was batting last inning when Peter Crespo got picked off at first base. And now Jake Ambrosio will swing for the first time today. Ambrosio, or Bros, came in the ball game after Caleb Milley exited with an injury. Pitch is a slider in for a strike. 0-1 to Ambrosio. Jitsukawa's 0-1 is another off-speed away. And a game like this, to where you have so much time to come back and you have really opportunities against the Strasburg team that isn't pitching great on the season, as that one misses up and away, you have to be very selective. You can't be uber aggressive, as you know. It's not about you reaching base, it's about everybody reaching base. So when Ambrosio fouls it off towards the Covington dugout, it's 2-2. Walks are a premium in a game like this. So really any at-bat to where you see a batter have count leverage, you prefer patience. The 2-2 to Ambrosio is up. Especially at the top of the lineup where you have a guy like Cross Yarborough hitting in the 3 spot. With how good he's been, you'd love to have people on base. 3-2 to Ambrosio's taken upstairs. His first AB of the day, he works a walk. Cross Yarborough, who's 1 for 1 with a run. Bats here. Ambrosio lead off of first. He's going to go against Jitsukawa. No, he's going to come back. Good decision there from Ambrosio. Got a good read, but really no reason, rather than taking the double play out of order, to think about stealing second base. First pitch was upstairs from Jitsukawa. Cross Yarborough, who has a team-leading 367 batting average entering the game, hits here after a single in the first inning. Jitsukawa's 1-0. No, he's going to check on first base. Ambrosio's back in plenty of time. In the bottom of the third inning with 1 out, Strasburg extended their lead. It's now 10-2 as the Lumberjacks look to at least erase that top of the third run. 1-0 to Yarborough. Lifted high into center field. Really more in the left center, coming in and onto Shelley. They'll make the play for out number 2. Bring up Darius Brown, who had a barrel in his first AB. There's been plenty of Strasburg batters who've put in a good rip on one. Darius did that himself. Thought he might have hit one out all the way in the left center gap. Just stayed inside the ballpark. He'll look to replicate that swing. Jitsukawa's 0-0. He's going to take a look at Ambrosio at first. Today, Express have done a great job at slowing down the base running from the Lumberjacks. Crespo picked off at first base. Not much action on the bases for when a Lumberjack is reached. First pitch strike to Brown. Jitsukawa's from Tokyo, plays at Wheeling University, and coming into the game with a 5.11 ERA. He's looked strong after a bottom of the first. That one's tipped into the glove of Broderick, and it's now 0-2 to Darius. Darius had a single in last night's ball game. He also had 3 strikeouts. Single came in his last AB, so he's 2 for his last 2. He's looking to make it 3 for his last 3. Jitsukawa's 0-2 was an off-speed way away. Ambrosio's going to steal second, and Kohlmeyer didn't even know. Thankfully, from Broderick's point of view, Kohlmeyer realized the ball was coming down, but Stolen base for Ambrosio. 70th bag swiped by this Lumberjack squad, and now Darius hits with a runner in scoring position. And a 1-2 count. Chitsakawa comes set. Glove at the letters. His pitch is flown into center field. Ranging back is Shelley. Takes a step in and makes the grab. All three outs sitting to the center fielder, Wade Shelley. Head at the top of the fourth inning. It's Strasburg 10, Lumberjacks 2. And so Gurgel back out for what he hopes is his second full inning of work. He gets Tanner Waldrop in a lefty-lefty matchup to lead off the top of the fourth. Strasburg has a pretty simple goal. Find 2 more runs and then ride this lead out until the 7th inning, and they'll head back home with an easy win. Covington obviously looking to keep it where it's at and somehow find a way. First pitch from Gurgel to Waldrop, misses away. Waldrop 2 for 2 with a home run today. His home run probably the wackiest in terms of expected off the bat, except one inside. It was a pitch away that he got off the end of the bat. Strong swing to left field, and the lefty had an opposite field home run. 2-0 count from Gurgel. 0-0. Thought off towards the Covington dugout, 1-2-1. Last inning for Gurgel, he gave up 1 run after he hit 2 batters. Those were the only 2 to reach base. Scored on a Caden Haywood sac fly. 2-1 Waldrop is taken away. Very curious to see who next out will be for Covington. As this game looking a little bit out of reach, you don't want to throw your better guys, and you have an off day tomorrow. As that's swung and fouled back by Waldrop. So an opportunity presents itself to be completely well rested in the Tuesday makeup matchup against Charlottesville. Full count out of Waldrop. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch from Gurgel is grounded right under the feet of Jacob Smith. He was going to get 1 foul ball. He was standing right by the dugout and nearly got taken out. Thankfully, he was aware. Waldrop, like many of the Express batters today, making contact. Gurgel looking to avoid the bat here. His full count. Avoided almost everything. Nearly got the head of Waldrop as he had to duck that one. Noah Walk, and then I'll bring up Baylor Roberts. I mentioned the game on Tuesday against Charlottesville. One of the more frustrating parts about how this game's going right now for the Lumberjacks is a win here, a Charlottesville loss today, and then a win on Tuesday would see them flip positions in the South. Noah pitch to Roberts is taken for a strike. Charlottesville 5th in the South right now at 6-10. Covington 4-12. After the first inning, it kind of seemed that those hopes were out of reach. The 0-1 hit to the shortstop Zayas. Takes a look at second base, throws to first for out number 1 in the top of the 4th inning. Wade Shelley, who made all 3 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, bats with the runner at second. It's been a day to where all the bats in Strasburg have been firing. Shelley looking for his first hit. He's reached base both times, a hit by pitch and an error. Gergel's 0 to Shelley is taken for strike 1. Shelley and then the on-deck man Broderick are the only 2 batters today for Strasburg who have not come around to score. Waldrop a short lead off of second base. As this one's lined in the left center field, giving chase is Pardo. He will not get there. A sliding effort into the fence. Coming up to throw it quickly. It'll be thrown to the cutoff Peter Crespo. An RBI double for Wade Shelley. And it's now 11-2 Strasburg. Mentioned where they play their games in Strasburg, where it's like a boombox. They've treated Casey Field like it's their home stadium. Somehow, someway, this Strasburg team has only 1 win on the road. Well, they're on the road here today at Casey Field, but they're treating it like it's home. William Broderick looking for his first hit of the ball game. Swings and misses on the first pitch off speed. Broderick 0 for 2 on the ball game. He's the only he's the only hitter not to reach base today for the Express. Gergel's 0-1 in their first strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Excuse me, it's 0-2. The 2 pitch to Broderick is strike 3. Gergel has 2 Ks, both are via William Broderick. That'll bring up J.W. Kohlmeyer. Kohlmeyer is 0 for 1 with a flyout and a hit by pitch. Came around to score after he got hit in the top of the 3rd. Thinking about going at second base, Shelley decides to stay put as the first pitch. Kohlmeyer misses outside. If there's any chance you're just now joining us, we're in the top of the 4th inning. With 2 outs, it's Strasburg 11, Covington 2. One to Kohlmeyer. Grounded foul over the coach's box. Third base side, it's 1-1. Covington got their first home win of the season against Culpeper on Thursday. Made it back-to-back home wins against Waynesboro, and then tough loss yesterday against Harrisonburg. Must be there from Gergel, misses away. It's 2-1. Opportunity today to make it a very successful weekend, but Strasburg firing on all cylinders is the 2-1. Again, grounded foul to that coach's box. It's 2-2. Kohlmeyer looking for his first hit. Gergel looking to keep it a 9-run lead. This one's lined into center field. Coming in is Pardo. He'll look this one down. Throw's going to come into Levesque at first, and that middle cutoff, and it's a 10-run lead for Strasburg. It's 12-2. That'll do it for Gergel. It's up allowing 3 runs to score. Danny Peruk will come in for the bullpen. As of course, Gergel's day is not done, but if Peruk can get the out here, his final line will read 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Take a quick break. When we return, it's Eddie Castillo batting for the 4th time in 4 innings. Danny Peruk looking for 1 more out in the top of the 4th inning, where Strasburg has already put up 2 more runs. First base is J.W. Kohlmeyer. Oh, from Peruk as Kohlmeyer takes off. And their first strike, throw down not in time. Stolen base for Kohlmeyer. Peruk on the season, 4.15 ERA in 4 1/3 innings. That's going to get away from Ambrosio and allow Kohlmeyer to move to 3rd. Wild pitch there. Castillo on the day. Mentioned it before we took a quick break. He's looking to make it 4 times reaching base through 4 innings. If the game kept up at the pace it's at, he could be potentially 9 times reaching, as the 1-1 is behind Castillo, and Kohlmeyer will make his way all the way around the base pass. 2 wild pitches and a stolen base. Castillo, and a 2-1 count, probably not thinking about swinging the bat after the last 2 pitches that he saw. Peruk's 2-1. Called strike, and although it's early, it might be the point of the ball game to where we see pretty major zone expansion. Peruk's 2-2. Way low, full count. Some more action in the Lumberjacks bullpen as Daniel Burbis is down there and working. Burbis, otherwise known as Tito. Brooks full count pitch. Lifted into right field. Dorlag giving chase. It'll go foul. To make matters worse for Covington, Ambrosio's their bullpen catcher. The only other catcher they have available is Cross Yarbrough. Yarbrough's DHing today. So he's down there catching with no gear on. Obviously makes it a little bit more difficult as a pitcher to warm up. So Paruk maybe trying to find himself here. The 3-2 to Castillo. Foul passes Strasburg, third base coach, will stay full. Paruk's 3-2 pitch, fouled off again. Gergel's last runner left on was able to come around and score, so that's 4 runs on the day for Enzo. Which now means everything officially is to the man on the mound and Danny Paruk. Although he still has an opportunity to get the first man he faces out. 3-2 to Castillo is away for a ball and a walk for Eddie Castillo. 4 times reaching base through the first 4 innings of work. Somehow kind of magnificently, Strasburg putting up 13 runs in the first 4 innings. They've not batted around yet. Tommy Kirwan looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Brooks' first pitch. Taken low, ball 1. At the moment, Covington's worst loss on the season is a 15-2 loss against Harrisonburg. Strasburg chasing that score as the 1-0 from Paruk is away. Castillo will lead off at first base. He stole a base in the second, although with the lead what it is, I'm sure he's very complacent catching his breath over there as 2-0 goes to 3-0, a wide miss. A 4 o'clock game on Sunday. Strasburg has the opportunity now to speed through this one, get it over in 7, and take a cozy trip back. 4-pitch walk to Kirwan, and Caden Haywood bats. Haywood 1 for 2 with the sac fly in his last AB. To Haywood. Taken inside. This is a Strasburg team that comes into this game playing 8 straight days of baseball. And yet Covington looks like the team that's extra exhausted. 1-0 pitch. Grounded to the shortstop Crespo. Throws to second base, and that'll do it for the top of the 4th inning. 3 more runs for Strasburg. It's the Express 13, your Lumberjacks 2. Zach Dorlag bats for the second time today. He leads off the bottom of the fourth inning. Flew out to center field his first time up. Tsukawa still on the mound. First pitch to Dorlag is an off-speed first strike. Tsukawa, after a rough first inning, has been able to settle in well. The one to Dorlag is skied first base side and foul to be played by Kirwan for out number 1. Reminder that Jitsukawa did give up 2 runs in the first inning, both of them earned. Since then, very limited traffic on the bases. In fact, 2 runners have reached since the first. First pitch to Stevens, Emery Stevens, is a slider for a strike. A 1 is swing and a miss away. 0-2 now. Strasburg only needs 11 more outs in this ball game, as this game has reached run rule territory. The 0-2 to Stevens, taken low. Tsukawa looking for a second strikeout of the game. The 1-2. Lifted. First base side. Kirwan giving chase, and he'll make the play. 2 foul outs to Tommy Kirwan and 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Vikings 0 for 1 today with a ground out to short. Talking to him earlier today, his approach is to really bang that right center gap and keep it up the middle that way. Did pull it first time up. Let's see if he can stay true to his words and find the right side of the field. Takes the first pitch away. Levesque has been a very dependable first baseman, which is honestly a bit of a shock. He hadn't played first base heading into this season. He's going to ground this one to the third baseman. Waldrop, who makes a sliding stop and a good throw to first. A 1-2-3 inning for the first time today for either side as Jitsukawa gets 3 defensive outs. We head to the top of the 5th. It's Strasburg 13, Covington 2. And the all-purpose enters for Danny Peruk at the top of the 5th inning. Peruk gets 1 out. Doesn't allow a hit, run, doesn't strike out anybody. Did walk 2 batters. And allowed 1 inherited runner to score. Ribes, who we will call Tito, pitches here to a new batter. First pitch misses upstairs. That new batter is it's Madden Williams now batting for the Express. As first 2 pitches Williams faces is up in the zone. Williams takes over for the DH Sam Brown. 2-0 to Williams, and a strike from Burbess. Tito has a very simple goal here: throw strikes, keep the game flowing. You don't want to allow Strasburg to continue to find base runners for free. As the off-speed's in there, it's 2-2. Tito looking for a strikeout to the first batter he faces. Won't strike him out there, as that one's yanked behind the back of Williams. Full count. Tito's full count pitch is an off-speed for strike 3. Bring up Tanner Waldrop. Waldrop is 2 for 2 with a walk on the day. He's scored all 3 times. Lefty-lefty matchup here for Waldrop. The 0 from Tito. Off speed that misses away. Next pitch is lined into left field. Darius Brown is back and makes the play. 2 outs for Tito. Baylor Roberts, the last chance to put up another number on the scoreboard for the Express. They've scored in every inning so far. Anybody who might now just be joining us, it's 13-2 Strasburg in the top of the 5th inning. Tito's 0-0 to Baylor Roberts is an off-speed for strike 1. Roberts really got the Express going. They had scored 1 with 2 outs on the top of the 1st, and then Baylor Roberts added 2 more to that inning with a 2-run homer. He's going to drop this one in the left field. Mr. Roberts is now 3 for 4. Bring up the center fielder, Wade Shelley. Shelley doubled his last time up, came around to score. Tito's 0-0 to Shelley's in the dirt. Gonna find the strike zone is Tito. He comes set. Quick throw over to first base, and back in time is Roberts. It's been all Strasburg since basically the 2nd inning. Covington retaliated to the 4 that Strasburg put up in the first one, too, as Roberts takes off. The pitch is going to get away from Ambrosio. A stolen base for Roberts. But you could kind of tell this game was going to go south after the 5-run top of the 2nd inning, which made it 9-2 Strasburg. Since then, they've added on 4 more. To the count to Wade Shelley. Tito's pitch is flown up, right side. Brian Zayas is there. He'll make the grab. For the first time today, Strasburg has a scoreless inning. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's Strasburg 13, Covington 2. Both teams have kind of paralleled each other today as scoreboard reads 13-2 as we head in the bottom of the fifth. Peter Crespo leading off against Jitsukawa. Swings first pitch, flies one into left field. Haywood ranging back at the wall. He makes a diving grab. What a play by Haywood, and nothing going right now for the Lumberjacks. Now, admittedly, that was an interesting play for Haywood because he almost didn't seem to notice that the pitch was thrown, or maybe the ball was hit out to him, so he got a late jump. I figured that by the way he was reading it, maybe it was gone, and then maybe he was leaping to grab one on top of the fence. He wasn't near the fence, but still a good play. First pitch to Zayas is strike one. Zayas struck out his first time. No one's fouled back. First time through the order, the Lumberjacks were 3 for 9. 3 for 8, excuse me, with a walk and an error. As the 0-2 from Jitsukawa is lined into center field. Brian Zayas continues finding base knocks. A solid swing there. Second time through the order, Jitsukawa brings it down a little bit. The Lumberjacks are 1 for 8. The walk. Pardo singled his first time up, flew out next time up. Good speed over there in Zayas, an opportunity to at least make it a 10-run game again. The one out in the bottom of the fifth inning. Pardo swinging for the third time of the day. Jitsukawa's 0-0. Slider misses high. Curious to see which direction this ball game would go as Pardo prepares for the 1-0 pitch. Jitsukawa's going to throw over to first. When you have a team that's last in the league in ERA, but then you have a team that's last in the league in hitting, which team's going to give? Well, the Lumberjacks have, as Strasburg's pitching has been very effective today. Pardo's going to foul that one off right side, out of play. Jitsukawa a little rattled in the first inning, but since then he's looked very sharp. Needs 2 more outs to declare himself the pitcher of record and make it through 5 innings. Brian Zayas at first, 1-1 the count to George Pardo. Off speed that misses above his head, 2-1. As Jitsukawa will ask for a new ball. Two balls, 1 strike. Pitch to Pardo. Launched into left field. Haywood giving chase. It's going to bounce right into the fence. Haywood picks it up with his bare hand, makes a strong throw to the shortstop, Roberts. Not before Pardo has a double. Brian Zayas moves to third base. Lumberjacks have something cooking here at second and third with 1 out. Pretty cool spot here for Jake Ambrosio, who on the day is 0 for 0 with a walk. He replaced Caleb Mealy, who came out of the game injured. Opportunity to boost his stats a little bit in a game that he didn't think he was going to be playing. Ambrosio had some great swings in BP. Probably would have hit one out if it wasn't for the turtle being extended out the way it was. The 0-0 from Jitsukawa is slow and away. And optimism is always a thing. You never know. After Ambrosio, it's Cross Yarborough, who's been the hottest hitter for this Lumberjack squad. And while Strasburg has been red hot through 5 innings, maybe the Lumberjacks could flip the script and become that team through the last 4 innings of this ball game. Ambrosio's going to line one right side. It's a base hit that'll score Brian Zayas. It's a 10-run ball game now, first and third, as Jake Ambrosio checks in. piece of hitting it where they are not, right through the 4-3 hole, and now you got Cross Yarborough hitting with runners at the corners. Time taken by the Strasburg pitching coach. Going to have a conversation with Jitsukawa. If you're Strasburg, I feel like you want to allow him to finish this game in the sense of at least get through 5. Give him an opportunity to be a winning pitcher, but don't want him to exhaust himself. And of course, you don't want to give the Lumberjacks a beacon of hope. You have no LaFine up and warming in the bullpen. But for now, Jitsukawa will stay. Yarborough on the day is 1 for 2 against him, a single and a flyout. Second AB hit the ball harder than he did in the first one. First time was an infield single. Lumberjacks have gotten 1 back. Entered this inning down 11. Jitsukawa, no pitch to Cross. Swinging a miss at an off speed. 0-1. You wonder if Ambrosio is possibly thinking about swiping second to stay out of the double play. Strasburg doesn't seem too interested in him, at least in the middle infield, as there goes Ambrosio. Throw down for Broderick is in time. Ambrosio out by a mile. Just like that, 2 outs in the inning. Hopes of a potential comeback are, well, they weren't much high with the runners on the corners. They're now down greatly again as Yarborough hits with 2 outs instead of 1. It's also an 0-2 count here. Jitsukawa needs 1 pitch to declare himself the winning pitcher of the ball game. The 0-2 to Yarborough. Grounded up the middle. Roberts outstretches his arm, but can't get it. It's a 9-run ball game. Cross Yarborough, an RBI single. Darius Brown looking to keep this inning going. Yarborough takes a lead off of first base. The 0 to Brown. Lifted into right center field, giving chase is Shelley, and it's down. Brown's thinking 2 out of the box. He'll get there as Yarborough's held at third. And the throw is behind him, and that'll end the inning. Cross Yarborough, a wide turnaround third base, gets caught up. And they cut Yarborough down at third. Head to the top of the 6th. It's Strasburg 13, Covington 4.